Good day, friends. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. Man, third Saturday in a row, we have had great college football, great games, upsets, crazy things happen. We've been lucky. Hopefully, next Saturday will be just the same. This is our week 8 preview or review, everything that happened this past Saturday. We're going to go over some things. Also, we got some news items. One that just came up late in the day. So we'll get to that. Anyway, before we start, hit that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything. With that, let's get started. The Texas Georgia game, good game, but the pass interference call that was later picked up after fans threw stuff on the field. Well, UT, they got fined $250,000 for all that stuff the students were throwing on the field, and they also are required by the conference to check video cameras, cell phone footage, anything to try and help identify those fans that did that, and they will be banned from all UT sporting events for this school year. So they got to do that. And they got to do a couple other things too, something to do with their alcohol sales or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. The SEC put out a whole statement about it. All the penalties Texas has to do, but those are the two main things. Also, the SEC is backing its officials over the controversial PI call in the game. They put a statement out late Saturday night saying about talking about it, how they back their officials. Kirby Smart said pre-game or post-game, officials tried to rob us, but we prevailed. Which I've never seen them pick up a flag like that before. A lot of people on social media Saturday night were saying, well, hell, if you get a call against your team you don't like, just scare the officials into reversing that call. So who knows? Fans may try it. Fans are crazy. We all love college football, so who knows what we'll do. Okay, so getting some more news items. Hey, you want to go to Clemson? You want to earn your degree from Clemson? Die-hard Clemson fan, you want to go there? Go for it. But be advised, besides paying for tuition and books, now you get to pay a $150 athletic fee per semester. That's right. Clemson officials say the fee would reflect the institution's commitment to a healthy and vibrant athletic program and an investment in the student experience. But if one of the teams suck, do you get any kind of refund? I mean, I was just curious about that. Just curiosity. I think South Carolina did the same thing within the last year or two. So, I don't know, maybe South Carolina thing, maybe all universities are doing, because I know there's some lawsuit that they're all having to pay into, so who knows. Hey, Pitt, they have hired Alan Green as their new AD. He is the senior deputy AD and chief operations officer at Tennessee. He's also been the AD at Buffalo and Auburn. He worked at Ole Miss and Notre Dame. He takes over for Heather Lyke, who was fired, and just anything you find out Heather Lyke, it's that her and the chancellor had a bunch of hit button incidents. So they let her go, and Alan Green from Tennessee, he's going to be the new AD. Indiana quarterback Curtis Swart, not expected to play next week against Washington. He got that thumb injury in the game against Nebraska on Saturday. Backup came in and did pretty good, so we'll go over that too. But anyway, yeah, there's your news there. Go back Friday. Duke moved to 6-1, beat Florida State 23-16. Boy, Florida State, man. Fans are arguing they should be in the playoff. They got slaughtered. Who was it, by Georgia in the Orange Bowl? And ever since then, they've just been. Not a good night for the quarterbacks. Both of them had under 111 yards passing, no touchdowns. So, Chandler Rivers, 36-yard pick six for Duke. Both teams under 17 first downs. Both made it on third down, only 4 times in the game. Both under 290 total yards. Duke defense, though, did have 6 sacks. So that's something to look forward to. Number 2, Oregon. We knew this was going to happen. All over Purdue, 35-0. Dillon Gabriel. Boy, Oklahoma could use Dillon Gabriel. 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, did throw an interception. Jordan James, 2 rushing touchdowns. Purdue, they fired their OC Graham Harrell a few weeks back, and they still aren't any better. I like Ryan Walters, man. He's a good guy. Man, I just don't know how much longer he's going to be there. They just, I mean, they did put up a fight. Who they played the other? They put up a fight against somebody. Um, didn't lose by much, but yeah, I just don't know how much longer that guy's going to be there. Unfortunately, Oklahoma State put up a fight. They lost to BYU only by 3, 38-35. Jake Ratzloff from BYU, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and ran for a touchdown. Also, LJ Martin, 120 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Darius Lester, 132 receiving yards and a touchdown. Ollie Gordon for Oklahoma State actually had a decent game, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the end, these two teams, you could tell by the score, they were pretty even in all the categories. Third down, rushing, passing, all that stuff. So and the score reflects that. So Oklahoma State did put up a fight. They just came up a little short. Fresno State beat Nevada 24-21. Running back Elijah Gilliam for Fresno State had 2 rushing touchdowns. Only 1 touchdown scored in the second half of this game, and it was Fresno State. So kind of some weird games there on Friday night. All right, so going over to Saturday, Army. Man, the service academies, at least Army and Navy. Army 7-0, beat East Carolina 45-28. Army quarterback Bryson Daly, 147 passing yards, touchdown, ran for 171 and a career high 5 touchdowns. This guy is incredible, but I guarantee he won't be in New York for Heisman. That's it's sad. It's sad. It really is sad. Remember a couple years ago, Western Kentucky, was it Billy Zape? Probably the best quarterback in the country. Wasn't even invited to New York. Fortunately, Army's quarterback probably won't either. It's BS, but that's the way it goes. ECU quarterback Caden Hauser, he had a good day. 282 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Also ran for a touchdown. Wide receiver Chase Sal, 138 receiving yards and a touchdown. Army ended up with 295 rushing yards in that game. Cincinnati took down Arizona State 24-14. All of Cincinnati's points scored in the first half. Arizona State's Cam Skattebo, 2 rushing touchdowns on that one. They were without their starting quarterback Levitt. Both of them are 5-2 now. Clemson, they're 6-1, beat Virginia 48-31. Kate Klubnik, 308 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Phil Mata, 2 rushing touchdowns. Clemson ended up with 204 more total yards than Virginia. I watched this one, man. This is a pretty good game. Louisiana, 6-1. They beat Coastal Carolina 34-24. Ben Woolridge, another great quarterback in the country, who's probably not going to be invited to New York. Let's face it. 373 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also ran for a touchdown. One of those touchdowns, he got chased out of the pocket, cut right, and just chunked it downfield. And his receiver caught it and scored the touchdown. Louisiana had the ball 17 more minutes in possession time than Coastal Carolina. They were better on third down, 116 more total yards. No turnovers in this game. Neither team turned the ball over, so coaches are happy about that. UConn, man, they dropped the game to 4-3. Lose to Wake Forest 23-20. Is one of those games like we just mentioned a while ago. They're pretty much even in all the categories after the games. But yeah, UConn drops to 4-3. Good team though. They'll get to a bowl game there because they are a good team. Miami and Louisville, man, shootout, battled it out. Hurricanes won 52-45. Cam Ward, 319 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Sam Brown Jr., 125 receiving yards and a touchdown. Louisville's Tyler Show, 342 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 of them to Ja'Carry Brooks. Louisville, only 3 for 11, though, on third down. Miami's defensive back, Daryl Parker Jr., 6 tackles. Nice game for him. Defense had 3 sacks in that one. Miami moves to 7-0. Missouri pull one out of their ass against Auburn. Crazy. This is a crazy game, too. Winning 21-17. Brady Cook, Tiger quarterback, hurts his ankle on the opening series of the game, right? Leaves the game, goes to the hospital, gets an MRI, comes back, goes to the practice facility, I guess testing it out to make sure everything's good, comes back in the game. Late in the third quarter, I believe? Yeah. Leads his team to 2 fourth two fourth quarter touchdowns. How crazy is that crap? Leave the game, go to the hospital, come back, and then throw touchdown pass. That's just man, I love college football, huh? Indiana, boy, what a story they are. 7-0, annihilating Nebraska 56-7. Matt Rule said on the press conference, "This is all my fault. I didn't have my team ready," and all that, but crazy. Anyway, running back Justin Ellison, 105 yards, touchdown. Curtis Swart, before he got hurt, 189 yards, touchdown, interception. Injured his right throwing hand. During the game, I think he had his thumb taped during that game. So, anyway, Terrion Jackson, he comes in for Curtis Swart in the second half, throws 2 touchdown passes. Like I said, they probably, if he doesn't play, which it doesn't look like he's going to play against Washington next week, they should be good off because they got a great team. And Tavian Jackson, he came in and finished the day for him. So there you go. Indiana, 191 more total yards. Nebraska, only 70 rushing yards. Isn't that crazy? A Nebraska team, only 70 rushing yards. That's just nuts. They were only 1 for 4 in the red zone. Man, I don't know what to say. They're a good team. I just don't know what happened. Who's your defense? 5 turnovers, 2 sacks on this one. UCLA, man, congratulations, guys. You won your first Big Ten game. Beat a good Rutgers team, 35-32. Quarterback Ethan Garbers, 383 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. Rutgers running back Kylie Monaghay. He had a great game, 106 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Rutgers only 3 for 8 on third down, had more rushing yards and less penalties than Rutgers did. So congratulations, UCLA. I keep looking outside because there's some weird car going down the street. Wisconsin, they're 5-2, beat Northwestern 23-3. Wildcats only 9 first downs in this game, 2 for 14 on third down, 82 passing yards, and only 1 for 2 in the red zone. Northwestern not having the good season like they did last year. I watched this one, crazy game. South Carolina just goes into Oklahoma, doesn't care who they are, where they are, goes in and just whoops them, 35-9. Dominant performance, both sides of the ball. You just wonder how South Carolina isn't undefeated. They pretty much gave away the LSU game, and I don't know what happened with Ole Miss, but man, hell of a team. Lenoria Sellers, 175 passing yards and a touchdown. Hemming had a fumble recovery for 36 yards in that one. Scoop and score. Let's see if I can say his name. Emanwari? Yeah, Emanwari. 35-yard pick 6 in the first half. Also had 8 tackles. Both teams under 75 yards rushing. So that rushing game wasn't that good. OU, 4 turnovers, or South Carolina defense, 4 turnovers and 9 sacks on Oklahoma. Eastern Michigan, 5-2, beat Central Michigan 38-34. Eastern Michigan quarterback Cole Snyder, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown late in the game to win that one. Western Michigan beat Buffalo 48-41. Both of them are 4-3 now. Western Michigan quarterback Hayden Wolf threw 3 touchdown passes to Blake Basma. Jaden Nixon, 112 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Kicker. Kicker Luka Zurich. Got all that mixed up. 12 points. He helped them win that game. Linebacker Jacob Wahlberg, 9 tackles. Hell of a game for him. Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech 31-13. They played that game in, what do they call it, the Mercedes-Benz Dome or whatever, where they play the SEC Championship. Yellow Jackets, they scored their points in the first and the fourth quarter. That was it. Nothing in between. Riley Leonard, no passing touchdowns, but he did run for 2 touchdowns for the Irish. Schuler, 36-yard pick 6. Both teams lousy on third down. Both have decent fourth down, though, so that's kind of crazy. 2-4 Miami of Ohio. They beat 4-2 Ohio Bobcats, 30-20. Miami, Ohio's quarterback Brett Gabbert, 3 touchdown passes in that one. Navy, we talked about Army a little while ago. Navy, they are now 6-0. Beat Charlotte 51-17. Get this, Navy quarterback Deshaun Peel, 39-yard pick six and a 16-yard pick six. Now, I want to say I read that was the first time a Navy player has had two pick sixes in a game in the history of Navy football. 2-4 Old Dominion beat 4-2 Texas State 24-14. Old Dominion quarterback Colton Joseph, 130 passing yards, no TDs, but he ran for 111 and 3 TDs. So all over Texas State. Another good one. Well, started off kind of slow, very defensive. Tennessee beats Alabama 24-17. It's like the second time in 3 years. Very defensive, like I said, 7-0 at halftime. Then the Tennessee O-line kicked into gear and things started going. Outscored Bama 24-10 in the second half. Nico Lamaleva, I think I said his name right, 194 passing yards, touchdown, threw an interception. Dylan Sampson, nice game for him, 139 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Milroe, 239 passing yards, touchdown, 2 picks, including that one late on their last drive to end the game. That was it. Tennessee held the ball 10 minutes less than Alabama. Less first downs. They were better on third down than Bama was. Both had a lot of penalties. Tennessee, 11 for 95. Alabama, 15 for 115. Bama's penalty happy this year. That's few games here they have gotten well up in the yardage for penalties. Toledo, they're 5-2, beat Northern Illinois 13-6. Tulane's 5-2, beat Rice 24-10. Tulane's defense forced 4 turnovers in that one. Cal, man, they started off strong. Now, they just keep falling since that Miami game. Lost to NC State by 1. Washington State, they moved to 6-1. They beat Hawaii 42-10. Their quarterback, John Mateer, 295 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Ran for 34 yards and 2 more touchdowns, so they got a hell of a quarterback. Another good one. Illinois beat Michigan 21-7. I had this one on the iPad. Luke Altamar, only 80 passing yards, touchdown. Also ran for 48 yards and a touchdown. Jack Tuttle, Michigan quarterback, 208 passing yards, no touchdowns in this one. Illinois defense held Michigan to 3 for 11 on third down, 1 for 3 in the red zone, and caused 3 turnovers. So Illinois having a heck of a season. Competition is going to get stiffer for them, so we'll see how they do there. 5-1 James Madison. They go down to Georgia Southern, 28-14. J.C. French, the Georgia Southern quarterback, threw 3 interceptions, but also threw 3 TD passes. Both teams are great on third down, but James Madison was bad in the red zone. 0 for 2. That's not going to get it done. 2-4 Baylor beats 5-1 Texas Tech. Look at them, 59-35 in Lubbock. Sawyer Robertson for Baylor, 274 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 of them to Josh Cameron. Texas Tech quarterback Breen Morton, 286 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, all 3 to Caleb Douglas. So those 2 quarterbacks had their favorite receiver for the day. Baylor had the ball 10 minutes less than Texas Tech. Less first downs, worse on third down, more penalties, but they did have more total yards than Texas Tech. Baylor, 6 for 6 in the red zone. So that'll win you the game. Arizona, I don't know what to say. I mean, hell of a year last year than your coach Bolton for Washington. But just like we talked about, Arizona State have flip-flopped, switched whatever places. This year, Arizona State's good. Arizona is not. Crazy. Lost to Colorado 34-7. Sanders, 250 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also ran for a touchdown. Arizona was 3 for 11 on third down, 1 for 1 in the red zone. And they also racked up 91 yards of penalties. So Wildcats started off good. Looked like it's going to be another good season, and it's just been going downhill. San Jose State, they're 5-2, beat Wyoming 24-14. Wyoming, good team the last few years. They just have all kinds of issues. San Jose State, this is like the theme of the weekend. The winner has the ball less time than the loser does. They had the ball 14 minutes less than Wyoming and committed 4 turnovers and still won. Does that show they know how to bounce back from adversity, or does that just show you how bad Wyoming really is? Sucks too, because I root for Wyoming, but oh well. Hey, Maryland, congratulations. You beat USC 29-28. USC proves they still have not fixed their defensive problems. They were leading in the fourth and allowed Maryland 2 touchdown drives in the fourth to win that game. So, I saw some big USC alumni says, get rid of Riley. So, oh, man. A lot of USC fans are probably thinking that. Maybe we got this guy. He should stay in Oklahoma. A&M beat Mississippi State 34-24. As an Aggie fan, I'm not believing this hype from the media. People say, oh, they're a good team. They're in the race for the SEC, blah, 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 blah. Lost to Notre Dame. Barely beat Bowling Green. Spanking Florida. Lets Florida back in it. What else we got? Mississippi State only won by 10. Went Missouri, but Missouri turns out they're not that good. So, I'm not believing crap the media says until I see Texas A&M run out the field at the SEC championship game. That I've just learned out of the last few years. If you're an Aggie fan, do not listen to the media, because remember all that stuff. Oh, just wait, Jimbo's fourth year. Watch what Jimbo does in his fourth year. Jimbo didn't do crap. He didn't do crap after that. So if you're an Aggie fan like me, don't listen to the media. Wait till you see them running out in the field on the SEC championship game. All right. Anyway, Weigman, I'm still not crazy about this guy. 217 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Van Buren was a lot better for the Bulldogs. 242 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Aggies Levon Moss, 2 rushing touchdowns. So he was looking pretty good in that one. And the defense did have 3 sacks in that game. Another game we watched Saturday night. Good game. Well, unless you're an Arkansas fan. But LSU beats them 34-10. Nussmeier, 224 passing yards, no touchdowns. But Caden Durham, 101 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. That LSU running game really got going. Usually it's the passing game, but Saturday night, it was a rushing game. Ramos also hit 4 field goals in that game. LSU, once again, was penalty happy. I don't know what their deal is with penalties. 11 of them, 8 in the first half. 7 of them were false starts. These guys just love penalties. Arkansas running game was horrible. 38 rushing yards. That is just crazy. LSU had the ball for 18 more minutes, had 10 more first downs, 8 for 14 on third down, 384 total yards, 5 for 6 in the red zone, which that had been a problem we've seen for LSU. They get in the red zone, and, man, they just can't do nothing. And, of course, Brian Kelly, he won't kick the field goal. He'll go for it, and, yeah, there you go. 4 out there in the red zone. Defense, they forced 3 turnovers and had 3 sacks. I missed the beginning of the game, so I don't know if Brian Kelly, I don't know if LSU won the coin toss and Brian Kelly elected to receive. I don't know. I missed it. So, I'm sure he did. Arkansas State, they're 4-3. They beat Southern Miss 44-28. Boy, Southern Miss, just not a very good team. Arkansas State, more penalties and only 3 for 14 on third down and still won that game. Vanderbilt, they're 5-2. They beat Ball State 24-14. Pavia took the day off a little bit. Only 275 passing yards and a touchdown. Did run for 82 and a touchdown, but nothing like he has done. And I believe, I saw, we'll know a few days from now. Well, you can look it up. But I think Texas goes to Nashville next Saturday to play Vandy. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if Vandy can win, but after seeing what happened to Texas against Georgia, they got some weak spots. Vandy can take advantage of those. Hey, they could have another upset. You never know. It's college football. Anything can happen. Kansas State 6-1. They beat West Virginia 45-18. A.V. Johnson for the Wildcats, 298 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. DJ Giddens, 2 rushing touchdowns. And that one, Sigley, 43-yard pick 6. Bad day for the Mountaineers, but Mountaineer fans, did you have a good time? That's the important question your coach wants to know. Did y'all at least have a good time at the game? So, if you had a good time, then it's cool that they lost. No big deal. Iowa State, boy, they had us scared, didn't they? Survive. They go to 7-0. barely beating Central Florida 38-35. Had to do it with a 1-yard quarterback sneak with 30 seconds left. Central Florida, that's a Central Florida team we're used to seeing, but we just haven't seen this year. Rocco Beach, 274 passing yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions, rushed for 2 touchdowns, including that one in the last minute to win the game. Memphis, they're 6-1. They beat 5-1 North Texas, 52-44. Mario Anderson for the Memphis, 183 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Hell of a game for him. We talked about Georgia beat Texas 30-15. Did it with Carson Beck having a very, very off night. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Georgia's thanking God they have Etienne, who had 3 rushing touchdowns. Ewers, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, to interception. He was actually yanked and Manning went in, few series. That didn't help much. Georgia defense, man, especially the D-line, gave Texas fits all night, pressuring Ewers, pressuring Manning, pressuring anybody that was back there. Held Texas to 2 for 15 on third down. 259 total yards is what they held Texas to. Only 29 rushing yards. That's crazy from a Texas team because Texas had some damn good running backs over the last few decades. Also forced 4 turnovers and had 7 sacks. That defense got after it. We talked about the controversial call. The SEC's backing him. Texas got fined $250 for all this crap thrown on the field. Like I said, SEC put out a statement late Saturday night if you want to go read it. Remember when we did the preview last week? I said, hey, Michigan State, man, I know they're playing Iowa, but they are due for an upset. Could this be it? Well, it was. Beat Iowa 32-20. Aiden Childs, 256 passing yards, touchdown, did throw an interception. Foster Jr., 100 receiving yards and a touchdown for Sparty. Jonathan Kim, school record, 6 field goals. Nice game for him. Sparty defense played well. They held Iowa to 12 first downs, 283 total yards, and 2 for 2 in the red zone. So there you go. Iowa also had the ball for 20 minutes less than Michigan State. Florida's getting better. Beat Kentucky 48-20. They could actually go to Austin and play Texas in a couple of weeks. Jaden Ball, 5 rushing touchdowns. Wow. Colorado State, they're 4-3. They beat Air Force 21-13. That's crazy. Usually Air Force is the better service academy in the last several years, and Army and Navy are somewhere right behind them. Air Force just isn't any good this year. But the thing they got to look forward to or be happy about, they have 0 penalties in that loss to Colorado State. SMU, man, they're just quietly steamrolling over everybody they play. It's crazy. Beat Stanford 40-10. Kevin Jennings, 332 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Mustangs, 501 total yards, 100 yards and penalties, though. But still, now you start to see people in the media say, man, could they play for the ACC championship? They got a good shot. They got a hell of a team. Just like nobody's paying attention to them. UNLV, man, they keep cruising along, proving they don't need that quarterback that quit on them. I forget his name now. Beat Oregon State 33-25. The quarterback took over for him. Hajj Malik Williams, 196 passing yards, touchdown, ran for 2 touchdowns. Whatever happened to that quarterback anyway? Is anybody pick him up? Or is he, I don't know, delivering packages? What's he doing? That's crazy. TCU, look at them. They beat Utah 13-7. TCU defense held Utah to 12 first downs, 2 for 15 on third down, 267 total yards, only 68 rushing yards. 0 for 1 in the red zone. They are rising bad. I mean, they really are. All right, so that is it. Let's go to FCS. We have some good ones. Harvard, they're 4-1. Beat Holy Cross by 1 point. 3-3 Maine. Maine Black Bears beat 5-1 Villanova 35-7. Drake is 5-1. They beat Presbyterian by 3. Davidson, they're 5-2. Beat Stetson 70-48. I was looking up stats on this game to see, passing yards and all that. Unfortunately, a lot of the FCS games, they only put stats. They just put who won, and that's it. And they got advertisement underneath. That's it. So I like to see who scored all those touchdowns, but oh well. Dayton 5-1. They beat 5-2 Butler 21-14. Dartmouth, smart guys, 5-0. Beat beat Central Connecticut State by 4. Rhode Island, they're 6-1, beat New Hampshire 26-9. Stony Brook 5-2, beat Towson 52-24. Columbia's 4-1, they beat Penn 23-17. North Dakota's 5-2, beat Northern Iowa 31-7. 2-3 Samford beat undefeated Mercer by 20 points. Crazy. Mizzou State 5-2, they beat Indiana State 46-21. Jackson State, they're 5-2, they beat Florida A&M 35-21. Tennessee State, they're 6-2, beat Howard 27-14. William and Mary, they're 5-2, beat Campbell 35-28. 4-2 Richmond beat 6-0 Delaware 28-9. Southeast Missouri State beat Charleston Southern 26-13. Montana State's 8-0, beat Portland State 44-14. San Diego is 4-2, beat Marist 34-6. Incarnate Word, they're 5-2. They beat McNeese State 30-17. If I remember right, the coach for Texas State, he came up the road from Incarnate Word, I guess, to go to a bigger brand. And Incarnate Word is still rolling on, and Texas State, they're just not doing very good this year. I think I'm right on that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? South Dakota beat Youngstown State 27-17. UC Davis, they are 7-1, beat Eastern Washington 48-38. North Dakota State is 7-1, beat 5-2. South Dakota State 13-9. Two playoff-rich FCS teams who are probably going to meet again in the playoffs coming up. And let me tell you something, the FCS, if these teams keep rolling like this, that 24-team playoff they have is going to be a hell of a playoff. I can't wait to see that. You'll have some in there that are going to get waxed, of course, because every playoff does. But, man, if those teams keep that up, that's going to be a hell of a bracket for that FCS playoff coming up in December. Anyway, that's it. Hope the week goes by fast for you. We'll be back. I try to do it on Thursday, but sometimes things happen. Thursday, if not, then Friday, do our Week 9 preview of things coming up. Looks like we could have a fourth consecutive Saturday of great football because you got some matchups there you wonder about. We just mentioned Texas and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a hell of a team now. How's Texas respond after that loss? I believe A&M and LSU, so this house is going to be divided on Saturday. Anyway, we'll go over that Thursday. Y'all have a great week. Work hard. Keep working so the week goes by fast. We'll see you next time.